This is Carlos Cousins. This is a reading question that asks us to put ourselves in the position of one author and try to um, guess at what that author's reaction would be to a contention made by another author. So, for this sort of problem, look for any reading problem. You want to watch out for what the author is talking about, what subject is being covered. So, the subject of both of these is the nature of Tchaikovsky's death and its relation to homosexuality. So, we have a shared one here. Um, what claims are being made about the subject? So, claims here are quite different, and we're gonna see why, and what pieces of evidence are provided. Then we can, as we do this, focus on what words are being used that might give us a hint or a clue as to the tone that each author has. So let's go ahead and see this. The Russian composer Tchaikovsky was a closeted homosexual is the first sentence we've got here. But it's not the main point of the article, of the passage, or what makes it different from passage 2. Pieces of evidence we've got that he's homosexual, however, are that he had many affairs with women, but after getting married in 1877, he had a breakdown and attempted suicide after only 8 weeks, where he tried to drown himself. The other piece of evidence we're given that so this suggests then that he struggled being a homosexual, that he didn't feel comfortable with it. The next interesting piece of evidence we're given is that 6 years later, his former schoolmates form a court of honor, and this is the subject of the question, that threatened to kill him if he, oh no, sorry, threatened to expose his homosexuality if he did not kill himself. And this third piece of evidence then would be that his Sixth Symphony is doleful, and the author of this passage is concluding that because of the existence of this letter and the fact that his Sixth Symphony was sad or mournful, he very likely committed suicide. And we know that from words such as suddenly, mysteriously here. The fact that his affairs with women were abortive, that well, yeah, these types of words, that it's a mystery, then implies that we're not sure, but this is a possibility, and that I'm hinting then that one of the possible answers is that this really is suicide, as he attempted it in the first piece of evidence that I provided. So this author here seems interested and is exploring a possible reason for his death. Um, the author of passage 2 then seems to be uh, sure that he died of cholera. There's no mystery here anymore. Many musicologists and historians, she says, insist upon here means that she's not very happy with what's being said, sensationalizing his death, so making it more sensational than it actually is, claiming, so putting into question what people like the author of Passage 1 are saying, that he committed suicide out of shame at being discovered as a homosexual. Plainly, she says the Sixth Symphony was not, as some contend, a suicide note, so that puts into question the fact that the Sixth Symphony might be doleful, having anything to do with suicide. And judging by his letters, Tchaikovsky was not a tormented homosexual by the time of his death. So he didn't feel bad about being homosexual when he was dying, so there's really no reason why he would have killed himself or would have felt bad had he been exposed. So this is really the one piece of evidence that the author of this passage gives to back up what she believes. The claims of suicides are not only completely unsubstantiated historically, so again, does not believe, puts it all into question, but they also take away attention from the true legacy, his music. So the author of this passage doesn't believe in the claims that the author of passage 1 is given. And that lack of belief is the point that you need to zero in on for this problem. So let's go ahead and consider these. Proof of the bigotry of Tchaikovsky's society, this court of honor. Well, if she doesn't believe in these things, she wouldn't believe that this is proof. And certainly not more than sufficient proof. So the second option doesn't work either. An example of an over-dramatized, unjustified historical approach makes sense. So we see, sorry about that. We see over-dramatized and sensationalized, for example, unjustified and unsubstantiated. So this makes sense, and this is why this is the right answer. But let's go ahead and see why the others don't work as well. Consistent with Tchaikovsky's letters and diaries. Well, no, it's not consistent with Tchaikovsky's letters, which say that he feels fine about being gay when he's at the end of his life. And then here, a crucial aspect of the mystery that surrounds Tchaikovsky says, well, there's no mystery. We know he died of cholera, as she says. So this is the right answer, and I hope that helped.